Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you saw in the title, I'm going to be talking about the power of optimism and how you can use optimism as your secret weapon to achieve anything you want in life. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it and talk about the importance of thinking positive and tuning into that positive channel. Now, thinking positive will ultimately have a positive impact on your life, and thinking negatively will, of course, have a negative impact. It's really as simple as that. It's not rocket science. It's not something you haven't learned before. You just have to know that bad things will happen to you, but you will push through because you're tuned into the positive channel, and you'll always be looking at the upside of things. And you must own and guard your mind and only let positivity in, because as you know and as I know, there's a lot of negative things coming in from different angles and different directions. You got the news telling you this bad thing happened. You got social media telling you this negative thing. There's negativity flowing from every which way to kind of try to tune your mind to the negative channel. So you got to block out that negativity thrown out at you from many angles. And this is important so that nothing can phase you and nothing can kind of hold you down to that negative level. So let's go ahead and talk about the importance of tuning into that positive channel. You got to think of the upside of every situation that kind of is thrown your way. Say you lose like $2,000, or you spent it on something and then that something doesn't work out, so you're like down $2,000. Are you going to just mope about that $2,000 gone, or are you going to think of how you're going to make that $2,000 back and maybe even make more money? So you got to be able to think of the upside of every situation and make sure you get the positive aspect out of it. And no matter what happens, if you're thinking in the positive channel, you'll still be able to accomplish your goals. Because if there's so many setbacks when you're kind of striving towards your goals and you let every setback set you back to the negative channel, you won't be able to accomplish anything because you're thinking negatively. But if you think positive when every setback comes up and you just think, okay, it's a setback, I'll get back on my feet, I'll keep striving and keep moving forward. So if you have this bedrock belief that you're going to make it, and that you can do it no matter what happens, no setback will be able to stop you and hold you back from your goals. Because everyone has setbacks and doubts. Everyone has these roadblocks in life. It's just how you react and respond that separates you from the bots, and it kind of makes you move forward compared to the people who kind of stay still because they got a setback or a roadblock. But let's talk about what even is a bot. A bot lets other people and other things own his mind. They let fear, worry, and doubt into their mind and let it control them. And ultimately, they lose control of their life because they're just ruled by fear, doubt, and worry. They really just flow through life with pessimism, knowing they can't do anything because so many negative things will happen, and why even try because there's so much negativity, and they can't do anything because they're just stuck in that negative mindset. They're always in a state of, if only I was this or that, or they're so lucky. If I had it their way, I'd be successful. But you can't be a bot. You can't let, if only I was a millionaire, if only I had the best body, and they're so lucky they were born into a rich family. You can't be a bot and be mad about that. You have to become the main character of your life and become optimistic and tune into that positive channel. So if you're tuned into the negative channel, these are basically the effects that you'll be living with for the rest of your life if you're tuned into this channel. You'll be living with fear, doubts, worry, lack of self-confidence, low self-image, low frequency, bad health, and negative attitude, poverty, and unhappiness. And this all just comes with thinking in a negative way and not thinking that you'll make it because there's so many negative things thrown at you and you can't handle them because you're not guarding and owning your mind. So it's very important that you own your mind and stay tuned to the positive channel and use optimism to your advantage. You have to really own your mind because a lot of people don't own their mind. They let fear, doubt, and worry own it, and this isn't very good. My question to you is, will you own your mind, or will you let others own it? The news, social media, porn, and fear are out to poison your mind. They're out to put you in that negative channel and set you back further along than you were. And all of the above, like the news and all that, they're very dangerous, and they can ruin your life if you don't guard your mind and let them in. You must own your mind and be free of these things, so you're always tuned to the positive channel so that you can think optimistically. You have to put in your mind what you want to get out in life, because like we talked about in past videos, you are what you think about. So if you're thinking positively and thinking that the best things are going to happen to you, guess what? The best things will happen to you, and you'll be able to get the positive things out of life. But if you're thinking about negative things, doubt, worries, fears, that's what your life will become, and you don't want that to happen, do you? So let's go ahead and talk about the story of the sub 4 minute mile. So a lot of researchers and people who studied running and humans had pessimistic thoughts about the sub 4 minute mile and how humans weren't physically able to run the sub 4 minute mile. And the researchers and scientists said it couldn't be done, that humans could not run the sub 4 minute mile. But Roger Bannister thought that was some BS and ran a 3 minute and 59 second mile. And he made the scientists and researchers look retarded. And shortly after he ran it, this man named John Landy did the same. And so did many other runners, because after they saw one man accomplish it, they became optimistic that it was possible. So they started striving for it instead of being pessimistic and saying, you know what, no one's ever ran a sub 4 minute mile, so it's not possible. It can't be done. But after someone broke it, they became optimistic because they knew it was possible. And you need to find someone who has done what you want to do so that you are able to become optimistic about your goals. So if you can't find anyone that's already accomplished your goals, then you're going to be really pessimistic about it because you don't know if it's possible or not, because no one's ever done it. So you need to find that one person who's already been a few steps ahead of you and that's already accomplished what you want to accomplish. And my question is, why would you even want to think negative? When thinking negatively, you are most likely to see the negative things in your life instead of the positive. Bad things will happen, and you just need to stay tuned to that positive channel and fight for it every single day, because day in and day out, there's negative things thrown your way. It's just really up to you to stay positive. And there's no chance of success when you're tuned into the negative station. If you're thinking negative all the time, like we just talked about, there's no way you're going to win if you're always thinking negative. The universe sees that you want negative things to happen, so it'll bring it to you. It'll come forth in your life, and the negativity will just be brought out right in front of you, since that's all you're thinking about. So, of course, all these negative things will happen to you if you're tuned to that negative channel. You have to think positive. The power of optimism is very powerful. If you are thinking positive, you are sure to win. If you're thinking positive all the time, nothing is able to stop you or hold you back, because any setback that's thrown your way, you're able to overcome it because you're thinking of the positive outlook on that setback. You know it will always work out deep inside, and optimism is the belief that will separate you from the bots. Living a life of abundance and bliss will follow this belief. If you believe that you'll be able to make it, and no matter what happens, you'll still make it, you'll be able to live in abundance and bliss. And find someone who is already where you want to be is very important. Let's talk about how you need to find this person who is where you want to be. You can't envy them or despise them for you not being in the position. Instead, you need to use them for inspiration and be optimistic about your own future and their future as well. This will help you become more optimistic because you do know it's possible. They're already there. They're just a few steps ahead, and you just need to take those steps yourself to get where they're at. They're human just like you and I. They're flesh and blood, so it can be done. It's not impossible. You're just a few steps behind where they are. You have to know that they had to change from the negative channel to the positive as well, and you just have to do the same so that you can get to their level. Let's talk about the change that occurs when you change from the negative to the positive. If you are surrounded by the negativity in your life, like a group of bad friends, or your parents are very negative, or your friends are very negative, or you're living in a negative life, you have to change your environment to make sure that you aren't consuming anything negative from anyone. Because the people around you should be building you up and not tearing you down and bringing you down to their level. They should be pushing you up, pushing you to new limits. And of course, it will take time to change the channel. It's not just an instant flip of a switch. It just takes time to kind of adapt and bring on this new positive channel in your life. And the only one who can make the change is you, not anyone else. No one's going to change you from the negative to the positive channel. You have to do it yourself. You have to make the switch. You have to take the time to actually make the change and be aware of what's going into your mind. And you'll be able to see your life change for the better. Once you make the change, you will see that life will too. you'll see that life will change from negative to positive, and that you'll be ultimately surrounded by positivity. The life you once lived in negativity will be altered, and it might make you uncomfortable at first because you've lived in negativity so long that it feels kind of comfortable to live in negativity, and you're so used to it. But don't be scared to let the change take place in the new life that will come to you if you're tuned into the positive channel. So let's talk about my change. I used to envy and despise people who were where I wanted to be, like traveling the world, making money online. I used to despise people like that because I couldn't do it. I was stuck in college, and I wish negative things would happen to people so they would have to go home and do the same thing I was doing. And really, this mindset got me nowhere, and if anything, made my life worse because I was just filled with negativity. But I made the switch and started thinking with optimism and hope, and I really just wished the best for everyone and hoped everyone would win. So ultimately, my life changed for the better, and I became a lot stronger and wiser and just tuned into that positive station. I learned that hoping for the best for everyone meant hoping for the best for me as well. So if you're thinking positively for someone else, it'll just make you think positively for yourself. So it took me a while, but now I'm tuned into the positive channel and thinking positively of everyone and wishing the best for everyone. So that's basically the gist of the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be making like 3 more videos in this department before I go to Cebu City. So yeah, thanks for watching, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.